From notoriously sharing anti-Semitic content online to being traded from his team because he was so wrapped up in controversies that he actually started missing games. Here's why people hate Kyrie Irving. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks star hasn't won over many people as he tries to get himself out of scandal over scandal. In fact, there's evidence that he has done the opposite. Seriously, there are actual polls out there that suggest he's the NBA player that people dislike the most. Last year, he was even kicked off the team because he tweeted a link to an anti-Semitic movie. And the worst part was that he didn't even apologize for it. The Brooklyn Nets said that he was unfit to be associated with the team. The team then gave the guard a 6-point list of things to do before he could come back to the team. These things include making donations and going to training. But it's important to consider that any apologies this dude has made in the past, it's because he was under pressure from his teams, not because he was genuinely sorry. Plus, in the past, Irving has been criticized by some famous people, including his former teammate James, Shaquille O'Neal, and Howard Stern. Stern called Irving a fucking moron, while O'Neal called him an idiot. Well, idiot is definitely the word for it. I mean, how else would you explain the way he reacted when people called him out for sharing the anti-Semitic movie online? Seriously, it was almost like the dude doubled down on his stance. After getting a lot of negative feedback, the Nets star and the team as a whole issued a joint statement, and he promised to donate $500,000 to the Anti-Defamation League. Now, to be fair, he did admit he had hurt people, but guess what? Irving didn't actually apologize, which, according to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, was just disappointing and sad. Irving then stood his ground, and when asked if his ideas were anti-Semitic, he gave answers that were, at best, evasive. When that happened, the Nets decided to suspend their player without pay and eventually trade him off. Irving said he wasn't here to argue about a person, their culture, religion, or what they believe, but that he was just pointing out things that were present whether people liked it or not. He also kept throwing these questions around, like, did I do anything illegal? Did I hurt anybody? Did I harm anybody? I mean, well, the answer he expected for these questions was a no, right? Of course, he is, in fact, hurting people. At the end of the day, he said he would not give up on anything that he believes in. The line for problematic behavior doesn't just stop here, though. Cause remember Alex Jones, anyone? Well, Irving not only knows this dude, but it seems like he also supported some of the things he was associated with. At some point in Irving's controversial timeline, he moved away from conspiracy theories that are easy to dismiss and toward ideas and people that are really offensive. If you didn't know already, Alex Jones is a podcaster and radio host who makes a good living by spreading conspiracy theories. One of these ideas was that the terrible mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, in which 20 children were among the 27 people who died, was faked and did not really happen. In this context, it seems like Irving agreed with another of Jones' ideas about secret societies. He said, yeah, there have been evil empires in the past who have done stuff like this. According to him, there are secret groups and oligarchies that have been around for a long time. But wait, it gets worse. Irving also said that there exists a tyrannical group called the New World Order, apparently starting all the way from 2002. To be fair to Irving, he did distance himself from Jones after the parents of the children who died at Sandy Hook filed a civil suit against the podcaster. Irving said that he didn't agree with Alex Jones' point of view, his story, or the court case he had with Sandy Hook, or with dismissing all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. He said his point was based on a post from Alex Jones from the early or late 1990s about occult secret societies in the United States. Either way though, it's hella problematic to give any form of platform to people like Alex Jones. And once again, Irving was either too ignorant or just too non-caring to realize it. Speaking of secret societies though, there's another major thing Irving has repeatedly talked about that so many people have called him out for, and it's using the secret society point for arguing that the Earth is flat. Even though he's been known to criticize the media and call journalists pawns and puppets, teachers who are part of a big plan to control public perception, Irving's ideas about the world really came under fire in 2017 when he started to promote the long-debunked idea that the Earth is flat. If you didn't know this already, let me enlighten you. When he was on the Road Trippin' podcast, Irving talked about how they tell us lies all the time. According to him, the only concrete information we have is what they're telling us. They make it clear what you should believe and what you shouldn't believe. Then, in September of that same year, Irving tried to hide his claim by saying he was just messing with people. Still, he would say again a month later that his own research had led him to the conclusion that there was no real picture of Earth. Irving finally put an end to the issue in October 2018 when he apologized for not realizing how his words would affect young students. I mean, there was an entire group of teachers who had started calling him out for spreading misinformation and confusing young students. These teachers would then have to teach again and rectify the damage this dude was doing. Keeping all of these controversies and scandals in mind, no wonder the situation got so bad that Irving had to be traded. I mean, they had to offload him, right? It wasn't all on the team though. The decision was made 2 days after it was said that the All-Star guard asked to be traded. Now, this was the end of a 4-season-long, tense relationship between the Nets and the 31-year-old basketball player. In his first season, he hurt his shoulder and had to miss a lot of games. Then, Irving also had several high-profile fights with the Nets, like when he missed dozens of games because he refused to get the vaccines that New York City requires of athletes. Later, the city made more exceptions to its vaccine requirement, but that still didn't do much for the team, who had to go through so many complications because one of its players decided to believe in some dumb theories. And as I've already mentioned earlier, Irving also missed games because he was suspended for posting a link to an anti-Semitic movie on social media. His post on social media also caused Nike to end its contract with him, which meant that the Kyrie 8 signature shoe would not be released. So, eventually, the Nets traded Irving for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and also an unprotected 2029 first-round pick and multiple future second-round picks. Man, honestly, with people like Irving, it's best to get rid of them before they cause any more damage to the team and people who get easily influenced online.
Active hands, contest, that's just great offense by Kyrie Irving. A spectacular offensive of 10 from the field for Kyrie Irving. You don't. Knocks down the beautiful jump shot in rhythm. Cavs rolling early.
And that, folks, was why people hate Kyrie Irving.